Hey guys, I'm V,
And I'm Sasa.
and we are
Petty and plus
Plus
size.
Size.
Cheers.
Some exciting news. Sasa has two new additions to her household. Would you like to welcome them in?
I think it's time for you guys to meet my two children. Let me go get them.
You guys, she makes me miss having a cat. I miss my cat so much. Here she comes.
This is Pearl and Theodore. They're
Oh
brother and
my
sister.
God.
Which one do you want to hold?
I'll hold him.
He's a little less
Guys,
spicy.
he is so adorable. Hi.
Hi, Papa.
You
Hi,
guys, she's gonna be like the
Mommy.
best mom ever. Hi, handsome. He's so chill.
Yeah, he's pretty chill. Aw, they're tired. They were.
Oh.
They're gonna try to climb on the curtain. They were hiding underneath. Their favorite spot is underneath my dresser.
Is it? Oh.
Oh, she's chilling. Look at her. Are you tired, mamas? You've had a long day. Very special shout out to Lola. She's a real one. Thank you for bringing me my babies. All right, they're gonna go lay down, guys. Come on, little fur balls. Say bye. Bye.
So how does it feel being a cat mom?
Oh my god.
Not to one, but to two. And this is like your first time being
having a pet.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
that for her because I've had a cat before and he was like the most adorable thing ever.
Yeah.
So seeing them today and I was just like, oh my goodness. And like she's been showing me videos for the day, and then like we've gotten videos from Lola and they're just so adorable. It's like,
Yeah,
oh my
I couldn't
God.
just take one. I wanted
Yeah.
originally only Pearl, but it's actually better that there's two because then they play with each other instead of tearing me up.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So we're only going to be doing one topic today.
Yes.
Right? So our one topic today, because V and I have both like kind of been pushing towards goals. I reached my 10K. She's at almost 42K now, right?
Well, 41K, I should say.
Well, you're already at 41, aren't you?
No, I'm still at 40K.
Oh, okay.
On TikTok.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is, like, we've been working really, really hard. And so our topic today is
taking breaks from social media as far as like our mental health goes, because it's okay to take breaks. You know, we both worked really hard to get where we are today, especially Salsa. She's been putting in the work
you
since,
too, though, honestly.
yeah, you know, both of us have been putting in the work, you know, but Salsa works a full-time job. You know, she takes care of everything else, plus, you know, how everybody else, you know, like she's always making sure like she checks on everybody else, you know, before her own self. So, you know, we both have came kind of to the decision of wanting to take a break a little bit, but also it's like I'm kind of at a standpoint a little bit because I'm just like, you know, I'm at a point of where my social media is doing really, really well, you know? And, you know, Sasa was just like, you know, I think it's okay to take a break, you know? And, you know, she's entitled to that, you know? Just because you are going to take a break doesn't mean it's going to be the end of the world.
No, and it's not, and rest assured, you guys, like, if you follow me, I'm not leaving the platform by any means. I'm just going to be posting a little bit less. You know, I just like have been, like she said, just like pushing, 3 videos a day, 2 to 3 videos a day, every single day for like the past year. And I just needed a little bit of time to touch grass and just tap in with my family. And so I feel like we've talked about, oh yeah, we did talk about this. My mother had lost her house in the Alcina fires, and she's actually moving back next weekend. So it's like a lot of change, good change, you know, getting my kittens, my mom. But it's like I'm at a point where I really just want to focus on real life.
Yeah.
You know, and as fun as it is, like I know that both of us really love to create.
Yeah.
And like that's why we don't call ourselves influencers, we call ourselves content creators, because I love to make content. I love editing, all of that. But at the same time, like I don't want to look back and feel like life passed me by because I was too busy on the internet.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to find a little bit of balance. I feel like there's just been like a lot going on in the internet. There's been like a lot of drama, a lot of just everything, especially when it comes to V. And like, you know, I always told her like I'm very protective over her. You know, like I don't know. We don't have to talk fully about this, but like for me, if you're my friend, I'm gonna be standing 10 toes down on you being my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people have been like coming for her specifically, and um, yeah, at the end of the day, like it's not only draining for her, but as her best friend, it's also draining for me
Mm-hmm.
because I do care about her so much, you know?
Oh, thank
So,
you.
yeah, like I just kind of want to take a little bit of a break. Again, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to be stepping away from the platform or anything like that. I
Mm-hmm.
just need some time to spend with my
Yeah.
family, and I'll still be going live, I'll still be doing all of that, but in terms of like putting out 2 to 3 videos a day, I may be putting out like a video every 3 days
Yeah.
or something like that. And I know you do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do like every 3 days.
Yeah, I do that a lot because it's like the internet is very exhausting. It's
It
very
is.
draining, and to where we are at, our platforms and stuff, it can get very exhausting and very draining, like I said, because it's like people expect you to put out so much,
Mm-hmm.
especially when we do live. Like people expect us to do 360s, and they don't
Every
even,
2 seconds, and they don't even
yeah,
support the live.
and it's like it does get exhausting, and people saying that you creating content is not a full-time job. It is a full-time job
It's
because
a
it's,
part-time job for sure,
yeah,
at least a
because
part-time job.
it's like you're trying to come up with creations. You're also trying to come up with ideas to, like, okay, what can I do in this video, what can I do in that video, especially on live.
Yeah.
My lives are mostly chill, just vibe out. Hers, she does the games, she does the, dating shows. She likes to, keep her, followers and, yeah,
Entertained.
entertained.
Yeah.
Mine is more chill, like come in as you are, whatever. But like, when we do hop on a panel together, which is always fun because, we do have our, little community that we have grown together. So it's like her people and my people. So it's very entertaining and it's very fun. At the same time, like, it's exhausting,
Yeah.
especially with, the things that have happened the past week involving men that, I've trusted, as friends. It makes you take a step back and be like, okay, I need to take a break from this. And honestly, take a break from people just in general, especially on social media.
Yeah.
Of course, we're still going to be creating, we're still going to be doing, like she said, once a video, once a week or whatever. I have yet to, like, fully decide if I want to take a full on break or not. Um, because again, like, I'm getting my engagement up. I'm doing things
Yeah,
that,
it's popping right now.
yeah,
Hmm.
and if like creations, like creators, they, it's very hard to get the engagement up.
Yeah.
And, the last time that I had my engagement up, shit happened, shit hit the fan, and honestly, like, it was when my grandmother passed away.
Right.
So it was like I stopped posting, and then I was like, girl, you got to get it together because your engagement was up and now it's down,
Yeah.
and it's like pulling yourself out of the hole that you dug yourself, and, it can be really draining.
Yeah.
And so, like, I haven't felt that way in a very long time, since last September, since last August. So it's like now it's like, okay, you had almost a full on year to, like, throw out your content and stuff. And September is going to be a very, very, like, strong month because it is going to be, 3 death anniversaries for myself. It's going to be my first year without my grandma. So it's like, kind of, I'm gonna probably need to take that break. But again, it's not like we're leaving. We're still gonna throw out content, we're still gonna throw out the lives and stuff like that. And honestly, like, even if I do lose the people, as long as, I have the people that fully support me in real life and not just on the internet, like, that's all that matters to me, because
Right.
people don't think like, okay, well, it's healthy. It's very fucking healthy to take a break.
Oh, absolutely.
Take breaks from,
Especially, like what we were saying the other day, like when you are the niche of your TikTok, like you're
Yeah.
not like somebody who only does cooking videos or
Mhm.
um, date idea videos or whatever. Like you are the niche and you have to literally come up with the content yourself and
Mhm.
you are the content.
Especially when it involves your real life
Your real
too.
life, like, and you have to like sit there and you don't have to, obviously, this is all optional, but like
Yeah.
you've chosen to open up your life to an
Mhm.
audience. Um, it does take its toll, and it's not always a negative toll,
Yeah.
but I think it is important to build those breaks in for yourself
Yeah.
before you get to the breaking point where it's like I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what it is for me right now. I'm
Mhm.
not at a breaking point where I'm like I can't do this anymore. It's
Mhm.
a this is a healthy break
Yeah.
where I just need to, instead of posting 2 or 3 times a day, I'm going to be posting once a week.
Yeah.
And I think social media burnout as content creators is a very real thing. And
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree because it's like you get to a certain point of where you're like, okay, everything is going good, but you also don't want to mess that up because you've grown a platform, you know?
Right.
And people on the internet are very like, it's very kind of all over the place. You
Yeah.
get the good, you get the bad, you get the in between, and then you just get simply haters, you know? And so when it comes to this point, it's like, okay, well, I've put my life out there, I've put my business out there. And so when it's like, when you ask for that, like, privacy, people are going to be like, oh, well, you put your life out here, what do you expect?
Right.
You know? Luckily, with, you know, the community that we built, they're very understanding, you
Yeah.
know? And I know if it would be, you know, other people, you know, that, you know, we've had in our circle, like, it would be like, oh, well, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Right.
But it's like, we're at a standpoint of where your mental health comes first before
It
anything
has
else.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, you know, days that I can't, like, you know, come and film, you know, the pod with her, she'd be like, hey, like, I got it, you know, and luckily, you know, we had D come in, Dolores, and then when, you know, she couldn't, you know, because we just, you know, life
Yeah, life
happens, you
happens.
know, and it's not just only with us, it's with, you know, our close family, it's with people that, you know, we interact with on a daily basis in real life.
Right.
And it's like, you know, when she couldn't, you know, I was like, okay, let's just take a break, you know, we'll just put out what we can and then do edits, that's it, you
Yeah.
know. But luckily we've grown this beautiful platform, you know, on, you know, for petting plus size, that we're like, okay, it's healthy to do this, it's healthy to do that, because again, like, your mental health comfort comes first, and I don't think a lot of people realize that, you know.
Yeah. Definitely. And I
Mm-hmm.
think also like um there's like this mentality in content creation of like, oh, you have to be putting in all these hours, you have to be putting in all this, like it's like a volumes game, meaning like the more content you put, the harder you're working, and all of that is true, but it's also like you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yep.
And I think like for myself, I've learned that the hard way, not with social media per se,
Mm-hmm.
but with just like my life in general.
Yeah.
I do have a tendency to just overexert myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
She's a healer, but
yes,
you know,
I feel
it's
like we
like,
both are.
yeah.
And that's why like I'm a super super empath where it's like
Mm-hmm.
not only do I like when my close friends are going through something, it feels like I'm going through it.
Yeah.
Like I dead ass feel like that pain is happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very sensitive to other people's energy. And it's like when you're interacting with random people on the internet, you may think, we talked about this last week, but you may think that you guys are best buds. And then the whole time you find out that they're talking shit about you or that you just aren't as close as you thought you were.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that I think it's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of really beautiful kind people that I've met on social media, and there's
Yeah.
just a lot of really fake ass people where it's like they're trying to portray a certain side of themselves for the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, i live my I live my life in authenticity you
Mm-hmm.
know and that is hard sometimes to be vulnerable. Like with Dolores's episode, I opened up about my domestic violence, and I had never shared anything about that. on my social media, except for like one time years ago. But yeah, like it's hard to open up about that thing. But again, like we're receiving messages of like, thank you for talking about
Yeah.
this, you know? So we're still going to be here. We're still going to be filming the podcast for sure.
Yeah.
But just like in my own personal TikTok, I reached my goal that I'm really grateful for of reaching 10K. And now it's just time to build in some family time
Yep.
and some, you know, going to do hot yoga, some hiking. And like, I'm still going to be making my videos, but I'm not going to be posting like 2 or 3 videos a day. I just need to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really proud of you though.
Thank
You know,
you.
she's actually reached your 10K, and it's like like I told her before, like once you reach that 10K, everything is smooth after that.
Yeah.
You know, because if you know, like reaching 10K is hard because it's like you gain followers, but then you lose them
You
because,
lose.
it's just different accounts, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. But the fact that, like, she's gotten this far, especially on social media, plus she has her own Instagrams for each niche that she has,
Yeah.
because she doesn't want to just make one Instagram and just be all about that. Like she has three different Instagrams. She's posting gym content. She's posting, daily lives, like, and just how her days are and stuff like that. So I give you your fucking flowers, girl,
Aw,
because
thank
you
you,
fucking
friend.
deserve it. You
And
know?
same to you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
like she puts in work too. And
Yeah.
that's the thing I do love about me and V is it's
Mhm.
like never a competition
Mhm.
and never a like
It's a
tit for
sisterhood.
tat. It's truly,
Yeah.
truly like a sisterhood. Like, you know, in a working relationship, a healthy relationship,
Mhm.
it's an ebb and flow. You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be days where I'm higher energy. Like
Mhm.
today, I'm very low energy. You know,
Yeah.
like I got the kittens today. I was
So
up
cute.
cleaning until the fucking crack of dawn yesterday for like 12
Yeah.
hours, you know, and then I go back to work tomorrow. So it's just like I'm low energy, but we're here,
Yeah.
you know, and we're still handling our business. So
Yeah.
that's what's most important, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's like we wouldn't be who we are, without, like she said, our authentic self. It's very important, especially in social media, of where
Right.
things are fake. You're gonna run into people that are just not matching your energy, and you have to be very cautious with that.
Definitely.
And you're gonna run into haters, like this past week that I posted a video. I posted like a date night fit check type of thing. The fat phobics around
Oh
is
yeah, they
crazy,
were.
and it's like, I love my girl down because, like,
Oh, I
she
was fighting. I was fighting
she
all of
was
them.
fighting every
I was fighting for my
single one
life
of
in those
them.
comments. Every comment that was
Yeah.
negative, I was responding to it. I was like,
And shout out to the girls as well, like the other females that actually stood up for me too, because, like, I'm a big girl, I know that, but, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm skinny, this and that. Like, I'll joke around and be like, oh, skinny queen, like, just to be sarcastic, but, like, this shit is fucking draining as fuck, especially because you're a plus size girl. Oh, they would not let you
I
live,
know.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's for
And
sure.
it's insane, but it's like, it comes to show, like, it's draining, as much as you, like, are, hey, I'm confident, I'm this, I'm that, like, I'll be good, like, that shit kind of eats at you a little bit,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like, you just gotta say fuck them, because,
You're still giving engagement. Remember
exactly,
that, folks. Whether you're hating or you're supporting, it's engagement either way.
yeah, so it's like, it comes to show, like, this shit is not for the weak, like,
At all.
if I could give advice to anybody, like, coming into the social media world, it's literally, having confidence, having the tough skin, like we both talked about, like, in our first episode, right?
Yeah.
And, just keeping your head above water, because, like, some days it's gonna feel like the ocean is literally overcoming you.
Yeah.
But other days, like, it's gonna be smooth sailing. And
Yeah.
honestly, like, you just gotta be built for this shit, because if you show any sign of weakness,
Yeah,
people
they're
will eat you the
vicious.
fuck up.
Yeah.
But um,
Yeah.
I'm really proud of us. I'm
I
really
am
proud of
too.
us.
And especially with V, it's like she's dealt with a lot of loss in
Hmm.
her life and like Um, I also have dealt with loss in my life, and I just know that grief is tough. And
Yeah.
there are days where grief just hits you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like navigating grief while also navigating social media and doing all of
Hmm.
that and keeping everything together,
Yeah.
while also working on your marriage, while also dealing with people who are trying to terrorize us.
Yeah.
Like, it's all this different stuff. And, um, I really commend you for that,
Thank
because grief
you.
is, and it's so unpredictable.
It
Like, you
is.
never know when it's going to hit. It could be the most random trigger.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when my grandfather passed,
Hmm.
my grandfather and I were like, he was like my dad. Like,
Yeah.
he and I were really,
Uh-huh.
really close. So when he had passed, I was not doing well, but I had to
Yeah.
go back to work because I couldn't afford to take time off.
Yeah, of course.
And when I was looking at my paycheck, I had taken like 2 days off, and it said
Hmm.
bereavement leave on my paycheck.
Yeah.
And that, like, I had to leave
Yeah.
work. Like, I was like,
Oh.
so it's just like things like that where it's like, you never know. And I
Yeah.
think oftentimes, like, with mental health, it's the battles that you don't see, when you're
Yeah.
dealing with depression and anxiety and grief and things like that. Like, physically you may look like you're okay, but
Yeah.
mentally you're going through it. So I
Yeah.
really commend you for, like,
Thank
still
you.
showing up, you know
Thank you.
and
Thank
staying
you.
committed and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely hard, because it's like, my social media started taking a little bit more off, before my grandma passed away. I mean, it's always been there, but like not as much as it was, maybe like I say the winter before she passed away, and was putting out content, finding content ideas and stuff like that, and like when she passed away, I was just like, damn, And so, like, after she passed away, obviously I was dealing with some other things, and mentally I was just not okay,
yeah,
from planning her funeral with, my aunt and stuff. So it was very, very hard, and, still carrying the grief of my mother's death, which, a female, if you're close with your mom, like, you will never truly get over, like, that's how grief works. Like, you learn to cope with it and you just kind of learn to live with it,
yeah,
So it's like with this whole social media thing, it's like, luckily I found friends like Lola, I found friends like Sasa, and some other a couple people that, are close with me that like I found, and it's like it's okay to take that mental break. It's okay to, feel the way you feel, because I was on live not too long ago with Lola, and we're talking about like, grief and both, I think her grandmother and my grandmother as well, and it's like this whole social media is, it's a safe space depending on who you find that with,
right,
but sometimes it's very hard to find that group because you never know the intentions of other people, you
that's true.
know? Um, but yeah, I mean, like we said, we're not gonna fully take a break fully. I'm obviously still gonna throw content out. Because I do have a few videos that are backed up, and some personal things I do want to speak about my personal life as far as my marriage, um, and just because I allow people into that space,
Yeah,
and it's overall it's a healthy. It's not, where it's just like she said, it's not to my breaking point. It's just it's a healthy, it's
healthy break.
healthy to
Yeah,
you know, let God in and just, kind of let you create those moments with your family that like a lot of people are not allowed, well, I shouldn't say allowed, but like not able to create,
yeah,
and it's very good to live in the moment because it's like you look everywhere and basically in this world and it's people on their phones taking photos,
yeah,
taking videos, and it's good to just live in the moment,
yeah.
have that memory because
Social media will always be there. It'll
exactly
always be there.
it's been around for years.
Yeah, like, my family, everything like that. Like, as sad as it is limited, and you
Yep.
just never know when, knock on wood, but anything can happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, guys, so you know what time it is. It's Petty Clip of the Week. It is my week to do so.
Something from my plus size queens, right? Like, stop letting these hating ass lames body shame you and make you have no confidence. Like, who gives a fuck what they gotta say? Like, it's your body. If you love yourself, love yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just I see it all the time. I see it every day online, like the body shaming in the comments and stuff like that. Even I get hate on my comments and stuff like that because I like big women. Like, leave me the fuck alone. It's what I like. Like, I don't know. The world, the generation got to change because this generation, when it comes to bigger girls or more weight, is just crazy. I don't know, but it got to change though. But don't let them bring you down, fuck up your day, fuck up your week, fuck up the rest of the year. Like, just do you and love yourself. Please and thank you. And I hope all my plus size queens have an amazing day. You already know. So
I can definitely agree with him 100%. Only because, like I mentioned, I put out a video, just a simple
No, it
creative.
was literally not even like.
It was like a video. And like, I put that out in Instagram, which I'm very wary of putting out there because, again, the attraction that it attracted, where it was just men being hating asses. Like, all the fat folks came out. And it's hilarious. But again, like, as a plus size woman, like, why are you hating on women that are bigger? Why are you
Right.
hating on women that, like you said, more weighted? And it's like, you literally have nothing to do with your lives. Like, the most of the men that were on there were literally like old as fuck. And then some of them were just like random, like fake accounts. And
Yeah.
to me, it's just like, like she came into my comments and was fighting everybody, And so, it's just, I don't know, it's just the mindset of these new men that I think it has to do with social media, where it's like you're slim thick. If you're not slim thick, if you don't have a BBL, if you don't have your titties done,
There's a
like
certain
it's
shape they're
nothing.
looking for.
Yeah.
It's like the big ass, the big chest, but no stomach. And it's like, I'm sorry, natural bodies come with the stomach.
Like, your mom was probably big as fuck when she had you.
Right.
Your mom probably gained weight with you. So what is the whole point? And it's like they like to talk shit. Like, there was this man that I went like head to head with, and I was like, it probably built like your mom or something like that. And I think I deleted his comments because he was just doing way too much. And like, once I wasn't commenting back, he was going back to it, and I'm just like, okay, I'm over this conversation like over 5 minutes ago.
Right.
So it's like, when it came to their moms, it was like, oh, my mom was never built like this and da da da. Like, they took so much more than what it, gave. And
Right.
I don't know. It's just this whole society of plus size women, of them not having the stomach, of them not having the thighs. Like, you rather just have some fucking chicken with a BBL or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, look, at the end of the day, every woman can decide what they want to do with their own body. I'm very much like
Yeah.
pro choice in every
Mm-hmm.
aspect, pro choice with, reproductive rights, pro choice with surgery, whatever.
I love to like the all communities,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But at the same time, I do think that, the surgeries kind of have skewed the way that men in particular and women view women's bodies. Like, I am a plus size woman. I have an apron belly. My belly hangs and it has folds and and it's like I have a stomach, and I think that's natural. Like, you know, it's not natural to have a flat board and then have a huge ass and huge that, and that's why it looks like a diaper.
And men love it over here. Like, if we
No, for
showed you the
real.
amount of DMs that we get,
No,
I think we
literally
should
on
do
the
an
daily.
episode on
Oh yeah,
it.
yeah, and show everybody.
And
Yeah.
it's like, it's like there's a thing now. I don't know if you've seen it recently on social media where people are now reversing their BBLs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they don't like, I shouldn't say people, but men don't know what they want. They don't know if they want a bigger girl, like my size or Sarah's size. They don't know if they want a skinny girl like Selena Powell. Like, and then once you guys get the girl with, the BBL and shit like that, it's like, oh, I don't want that, or she had a BBL, or her thighs don't match to her ass. And it's like, they just really don't know what they want, especially when it comes to men, like talking shit on a woman's body. Like
Right.
like we said before, stay in a man's
Stay
place.
out of a woman's business. Why are you
Yes.
even focused on that
Mhm.
at all?
Yep.
But anyway, all right. Well,
That's
thanks
all
for
for
joining
today.
our episode 11.
We are gonna close out because Theodore and Pearl
Pearl
are
is
asleep.
sleeping. Yeah.
They've had a really long day. They came from
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, yeah. But thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for everybody who supports us.
See you guys next time.
Bye,
Cheers.
guys.
Petty and Plus Size Podcast.